Welcome, everyone, to episode 8 of the official podcast for Guardian 1, a Destiny group dedicated to the prosperity of Guardians everywhere. We broadcast live Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network. My name is Remy, and I am joined by 4 Guardians who may or may not also be suffering from Destiny deprivation. SDF River, how are you doing tonight, and are you also suffering from Destiny deprivation?
I feel like I'm twitching out, man. I'm twitching out. I can't stand it anymore. I gotta. Yeah, man, it's hitting me pretty rough. I think I sent out a tweet not that long ago saying that every single game that I'm currently playing just seems sad and unfulfilling in comparison.
That was actually my next question.
Yeah.
What are you playing now? Like, what are you trying to play now?
Well, since I just got my Xbox One, I've been enjoying Guacamelee, and it's pretty fun, but it's no Destiny.
Did you Guacamelee? I've seen that around, and
Yeah.
the name both draws me to it and repulses me.
Oh no.
What is it?
It's a third-person side-scroller action game. Basically, you play as a luchador, and that's why it's called Guacamelee. It's really quirky. It's actually a lot of fun. It's kind of right up my alley. But like I said, it's compared to Destiny, it's like trying to chew on a flat rock or something. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I hear that. So are you skipping Titanfall altogether? Because in my mind, that kind of seems like the next step down from Destiny right now.
I kind of thought about picking up Titanfall for a moment, but Destiny is so freaking close right now. I really don't want to dedicate myself to a new game. I did think about getting Tomb Raider because I really want to play Tomb Raider. But I don't want to get invested in this game and the Destiny come out, and then I'm never going to play it again.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was trying to wrap up as many games as I could before Destiny comes out, but I sit there with the controller in my hand, and I honestly would just rather sit and talk about Destiny than play any other game. There just is no equal in my mind right now. And I played the beta until I basically was a zombie. Like I don't I don't know what I'm going to do when Destiny comes out, because imagine it just never going away. Like what are we going to do? It's going to be crazy.
Well,
so yeah.
I can't wait. Bring it on, please.
Well, it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Remy.
Crimson Warlock, how are you doing tonight, and are you also suffering from Destiny deprivation?
I am pretty good, and I totally am. Like, Gamescom and stuff, super excited for the stuff that they announced, really liking it, but I'm like, but the beta's over, and we still have 26 days left.
Oh man, don't even say that. 25, 24, it's crazy. I too was pleased by this stuff coming out of Gamescom, but it really seems like they're just throwing us a bone, like I didn't feel like it was. I don't know. We still have 25 days, like you're saying. We still have a lot of time left to go. I'm curious to know exactly how far they are away from going gold and things of this nature. Like, where are they in their span of time? Are you playing anything right now, or are you just waiting?
I'm actually getting my Assassin's Creed bug out of me right now. I'm playing Revelations, and I will hopefully be able to just whiz through 3 really fast before Destiny comes out, and then I don't know when I'll touch any of the others, but that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is getting through those.
Awesome. Revelations was a great game. All of those Assassin's Creed games are really good. I actually skipped 3 and went right to Black Flag. I was really, when you hit 3, the control scheme changes a lot. So all of the time you've spent learning how to hold down the different triggers to activate blocking and things like this, it all goes away in favor of a much simpler system. And when I sat down with it, I just lost interest. So good luck, and let me know how 3 works out for you.
Totally, I'll let you know.
It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
Jez, how are you doing tonight, and are you suffering from destiny deprivation?
Yes, I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, I jumped the gun. Yes, I'm suffering from deprivation. Needs to be here now.
Needs to be here now. Agreed. Are you playing anything, or are you just waiting?
I've been playing a lot of random things, like during Gamescom they released PT, which is a very
Oh.
weird horror teaser for an upcoming game, and a lot of like I've been trying to get caught up on The Walking Dead season 1, like the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I can't wait to get to that.
The Walking Dead games they're really good. They make you make choices, and you get to see the fruits of those choices. I only played through it once, but I'm excited to play through it again and find the other things that are there. You know, in 2024, 2025, when I'm done playing Destiny. I actually also played the PT, and I'm curious to know. So I went around the block a couple times, you know what I'm talking about, and then I went to the bathroom and I saw that horrible shit that's in there, and then I came out and that was it. Is that the end of the? And then a girl came and ate my face. Is that the end of the trailer, or is there more? Because I feel like I'm still in this room. There is more after that.
Yeah, it's actually quite creative the way it's set up. Like it's just a first person survival. Or not really survival, but a first person point and click adventure where your clicking is just zooming in on objects, and you just look for different things and solve like really obscure puzzles. And eventually, there's a phone call and it says something I can't remember, and then it will play the trailer for the game that it's advertising. I don't know if I want to
Interesting.
spoil the game that it's advertising because it's completely different and completely awesome.
Right. I think that anyone paying attention already knows what that is. But you know what? In the spirit of things, I won't ruin it either. But I definitely suggest people try it out. It definitely the idea that they could make my skin have goosebumps from just something as simple as a door shutting or footsteps. You know, like there wasn't anything necessarily that happened in there so far that should have really scared me, but they did a really great job with the atmosphere.
It's a slight spoiler, but they actually had to degrade the quality to make it look like an indie game.
Totally, I read that, and I think that it looks great. I think that the I can't even imagine how they're going to make it better. You know, like how is it going to look when it's done? Because it basically looks real to me.
Yeah, it's funny. Those two topics are quite closely connected.
Agreed. Agreed. Well, it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Our last panelist has been my best friend and video game accomplice since before Bife was born. Tanner, how are you doing tonight? And are you suffering from destiny deprivation?
I'm doing good, and yeah, nothing is really, holding me over at this point. I kind of get up every morning, check the Destiny app, see what's on there, if there's anything new, read it a couple times, call you if there's anything I need to talk about, ramble on for hours, and then do it all again the next day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So is there anything that you are playing right now, or is it just
Oh man,
blinders?
I kind of want to just lie and say no, and I'm ashamed to admit that I've been playing the crap out of a phone game because I can't even pick up my Xbox, my Xbox One. It's just kind of say it has no idea what's going to happen when Destiny comes out because it's just not getting used at all right now. It's just going to be panicking.
Right? It's amazing. It is honestly amazing how long my PlayStation 4 controller lasts without being charged when Destiny's not an option. Like while Destiny was available, I charged that thing no less than 3 times a day, and now the controller lasts 3-4 days without me having to do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, I haven't put anything on the Xbox One since the beta has been done. It just hasn't seemed. I don't know. I know I'm just gonna go crazy when it comes out, so it's kind of calm before the storm, I guess.
I hear that. I hear that. I really don't know what I'm going to do, what we are going to do when every minute of every day, barring some unforeseen downtime, uh, what are we going to do? Because me personally, if Destiny was available right now, we'd be talking about how the show is over, ha ha ha. But honestly, it's going to be I will be playing before the show, and then I'll hang up with you guys, and then I'll go back to playing.
That's
And
right.
I just can't imagine I think that I think people are going to die. I think I might be one of them. I'm going to die with the controller in my hands. I'm going to have some of that death grip.
Well, I mean, right now I'm on Skype through my Xbox One, so I don't see why I wouldn't be able to be talking to you guys while playing at the same time. So let's do the best
See,
of both worlds.
see, Tanner, I thought about the same damn thing too, and I don't think I can really cut my freaking attention between Destiny
that's probably
and talking to these guys. I really don't think that can really happen for me.
Yeah,
personally.
You'd be on there and
PvP.
they'd be asking you questions and you just wouldn't answer.
No way, man.
Don't PvP during the show.
Oh,
I've thought about that a lot, and I think that that's something that would be really cool. To have people playing in the game right now while we are doing the show. I think that that's definitely something that we can explore. And I don't know, but it's nice to. It's great to have you on the show, Tanner.
Yeah, it's really cool. Thanks for inviting me.
I was trying to think about the first, what was the first game that we played together, and the only thing I keep coming back to was that time at Preston's house where we played 250 games or 500 games of Mortal Kombat,
That's what you had to bring up.
trying to get to Pong.
I didn't win a single one between the three of us playing. I didn't win a single Mortal Kombat fight that whole time.
wait, which Mortal Kombat?
The one on Super Nintendo.
Which one's that?
was it?
2? It's got to be 2, right?
Was it 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Has
That was
to
the one
be.
with. Yeah, I think it was.
That was a
By
boss.
the way, if you do that, you do not get Pong at the end. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. I figured as
Your
much.
ISP,
I hadn't even
it's-
heard of that Pong crap.
Right? It was if you won some kind of 500 games in a row. I think it was a joke, and the joke apparently was on us.
Sucker.
I think at the end of that streak, we all decided that it was that why were we even doing this? Because we could just go get an Atari.
I mean,
And play
I
Pong?
think
and play
we were
Pong.
together on the Resident Evil the first time our friend threw Resident Evil in, and we're all sitting around watching that. I think we were together when we first played GoldenEye. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we played a lot of stuff together.
Totally. Actually, my favorite video game memory, and I don't know, this is going to live in infamy forever for me, was I wasn't even playing the video games. It was you, Tanner, and me and Preston. And Preston had just gotten to this part in Super Mario 64
Oh man.
where it was like that ice level where you had to do that triple jump off of these things, and he tried and tried and he couldn't do it, and I could do it no problem, you could do it no problem, and Preston gets there and he does it, and he sets the controller down. He doesn't grab the star, he sets the controller down and he starts marching around the room. And I got up all quiet and walked over to the Nintendo 64 and hit the power button.
Oh.
That might have been your most epic moment of all time. I was there, and to this day I still laugh. And if Preston hears about that, his face turns all red and he gets real upset still to this day. It was classic.
I don't blame him. What a jerk move on my part.
That's literally like a walk off. Like if you got hit by a car on the way outside, it'd be like, yeah, but he did that. I don't know. As far as friends go, it was a classic.
What do you got, Tanner? What is your favorite video game moment of all time? Just something that comes to mind.
Oh.
You think about?
Favorite video game moment of all time?
Yeah,
Oh man, I don't even know.
I'll come back to you. Jez, you got a very favorite video game moment? It could be anything. Mine is a horrible example because I'm a horrible human being.
Mine was probably downing Lady Vash in World of Warcraft. At the time, we were just going in at level, so it was quite epic.
Awesome. I don't have no idea what that means. Paint the scene for me real quick. And for those who also don't play WoW, what exactly does that mean?
It's the final boss of one of the raids of the first expansion of World of Warcraft. So everyone is like level 70, and so there's 25 people in a raid, and there's bats flying everywhere, green stuff falling on the floor that you can't stand in, a woman with 4 arms shooting arrows at everyone and electrocuting everyone, and it all comes down to just beating it. The
Well,
coordination and everyone just like erupts on vent when it's the first time you beat a boss in the raid.
So who is everyone? How many people are we talking about here?
The full 25-man group.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. Very awesome.
Yeah, it was quite fun.
Warlock, what you got? Favorite video game moment?
I'm having to go to WoW too, but this one, I was playing a mage, my brother was playing a rogue, and it was our second or third time through. Oh, now I can't think of what it's called. It's the mines. Your first dungeon is Alliance, level 15. We were going through, the dead mines, and my brother and I were going through this room with 3 other people we didn't know. Really had poor communication, and we just kind of started falling apart. And it ended up being me and my brother against 6 elite goblins, and somehow we were able to survive it. Like, we used all of our cooldowns and everything, and just the 2 of us were able to kill these elites. And it was like we just stopped and we're cheering and like high-fiving each other, and it's just awesome.
That sounds way awesome.
Yeah, it does.
River, what you got?
One of the ones that I always go back to was back in Halo 2, playing online. It was if you've played Halo 2, you know the Blood Gulch map that was called Coagulation.
Yeah.
And it was the big team battle. It was 8 versus 8, and it was me and my SDF clan. We were just sitting these fools down, and it was a capture the flag. Well, a couple of my buddies got into the Warthog, went to the other side, to try to grab the flag, and the Warthog got destroyed, but one of them survived, so we managed to grab the flag, right? So all the other team, I guess they were blue. I think they might have been blue. They were all freaking trying to jump on the guy, trying to find out where he was. And me, I'm on the other side of the map with the sniper rifle. And so my buddy who grabbed the flag, he starts hoofing it, heel toe express, trying to make it to the other side. And I hear him in the headset. He's like, "River, save me, help me!" So I go up to the hill with my sniper rifle, and everybody who was chasing him, whether it was by a ghost or on Warthog or on foot, everybody who was chasing him, whenever they would start getting close to him, sniping them with a headshot. Bam! One after another. Bam! Bam! Nobody freaking touched him, whether they were in a vehicle or what. And he actually made it to the other side, and I couldn't believe that shit happened. It was
awesome.
Probably the greatest Halo moment that I've ever had in my freaking life. That's it.
That's way awesome. I don't suppose you saved that on the...
on Halo 2. God, I wish, man. That would have been awesome.
If only they had that functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So you got something, Tanner?
Oh, man. I've kind of been racking my mind. This is such a big thing. I know we had lots of great nights with beer and worms.
Yeah,
killing
worms.
each other like crazy. Most of my memories are just going back to kind of more 4 players in the same room, kind of killing each other and having a good time. He said something about Halo 2, and I flashed back to a time when I was with the clan, and apparently we'd played all night, and I fell asleep, and they just left me in the lobby and kept playing, just leaving me there. So when I woke up, I was still in the group, and they just all laughed at me, and then we kept playing. So that was kind of cool. Those are about... I don't have any epic moments that I can come off the top of my head with right now.
That is, you brought up a good point, the split screen or the worms and the 4 players, and it seems like that's all going away, going the way of the dodo. Like I'm sad that Destiny is not split screen, but I get it. I understand. It's
kind of why I'm excited about Destiny, though, just the community and the long-term thing going. I mean, that's why I was a big fan of the Halo 2 games and stuff too, just like the clans and the group together. I mean, you get to know a good group of people and long lasting and go for a while, so I think Destiny's kind of, you're not in the same room, but you get that core group of friends together and you're right back in it.
Yeah, I think that we're kind of lucky that we grew up with video games when we did, because if Destiny was split screen, or multiplayer, I don't go to your house anymore. You don't come to mine. It being having everything over the internet has really, I don't know. We're lucky. We're lucky, I think.
Could you imagine playing 4-player split screen right now, though? I mean, oh my god.
Well, I think there's just too much going on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think that Destiny requires that you see a lot of small things. Like, I don't know. I think they could still do it, but I understand why they didn't, or at least why they say they didn't. So yeah. So you know what? It's interesting. So Tanner and SDF River both have very, very big background in Halo 2, and I, for one, was very excited about the way Destiny has the chat set up. Like, I don't want to just chat with random people. And at the very beginning, I didn't want to group with anyone because I didn't want to have to deal with that. And I actually watched Flounder just join somebody else's group. And I said, well, let me get your headset. And she said, I don't want the headset. I don't want to talk to this person. And I said, well, I think that that's what this is all about. And it turns out that unless you are friends with the person or you make an effort to chat with them, you're not going to chat with them. And this, in my mind, is amazing. I love this. And so let's start with River. Are you excited about the not chatting, or would you like there to be other options?
Jeez. Personally, since I really only game with my clan in anyways, it doesn't really affect me either way. I really do wish that they had more options in order to accommodate everybody, but I do understand why they did what they did. But again, I really don't have an opinion one way or another on that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Awesome.
set.
You are set.
Just give me the game.
Warlock, what do you feel about the inability to just chat with somebody? Is this a pro or a con in your mind?
I kind of think it's a con in the fact that you might run into someone randomly while you're exploring, and you don't really have a way to communicate. And maybe you have a bunch of fun, then you've got to go through all the menus to add them as friends, and then you can finally chat. I think if there was a sort of party proximity chat, then it'd be a lot easier to kind of start up that relationship and maybe make a new friend really fast. So I feel like it's a con right now, but maybe they'll change it for the final.
I could totally see that. And I think one of the reasons that they've done this is they're kind of pushing us to group, not in game. Like, I think that they're pushing us to find a group of players online that you would specifically join their group and then become friends with them. But I could totally see that. Jez, what do you got on this? Is this pro or is this con?
I'm can't really say either, to be honest. I've never noticed you can't even talk to someone that's like you just meet and then add to your fire team.
What's that?
You can't add someone to your fire team and then be able to talk to them over the actual in-game chat.
Yeah, once you add them to your fire team.
No. If you add them to the fire team and you still can't chat with them.
What?
Yeah. So you see somebody out on the field and you wave to them and they invite you to go with them. Unless you're friends with them, you still can't. There is still no chat.
Well, in that case, yeah, that's definitely a downside. It should let you talk to someone that's in your group, like in your fire team, and possibly even extend that to fire teams in PvP or in the matchmaking.
So, Tanner, you and I had a huge conversation about this, and this was the point when I decided that I definitely had to have you on the show, because you were saying that was it for you back in the days. You would be thrown in with a bunch of people that you didn't know, and because everybody was chatting, you could pick people out right away that you wanted to continue down the road with. And so, in your mind, this is definitely a con?
Yeah, it's really, I've been like sitting back listening to everybody talking and like trying not to interrupt and be polite, but it's like it's the only complaint I've had about the thing. It's like if they want this community and this game to like live its own, like become its own thing, then like you said, like they're pushing people to the internet to find groups. Well, why not keep everybody on the game? Why not build that community? I don't know. I understand there's like the kids and there's the annoying stuff, but I mean it's just as easy to mute somebody or even choose to, if like you don't want to talk to anyone, just have that as an option. But we don't have an option if we do want to meet people. If you do go into a fire team, I mean I haven't played any first-person shooter games in a while, so I mean I'm out of touch. I've got some friends here and there, but I mean I don't have like a clan or anything set up. So when I jump into PvP or anything like that, it's no sound. I mean I'm not going to friend request everyone to try to find people that are interesting or want to play with, you know what I mean? So to me that was the only lacking thing, and we talked about it a bunch, and I was just like the community, the sense of community that they could create through that, I feel like is going to be lacking.
I agree. We discussed some things that they might be able to use to help turn this around. So we started talking about toggling on and off proximity chat, but then you brought up a great point that, you know, what would you consider proximity with some place like the tower where there's, 15 other people? That would just be an insane amount of blabbering to go through. Have you come up with anything else, like any other ideas for this?
I mean, even if it's just PvP, or if you're just when you're out exploring, or I mean, I'm not a designer. I don't know exactly how hard it would be to do a proximity thing. But yeah, I mean, obviously in, really crowded areas, it's just going to be a mess. But I just feel like there should be an option, not so much as like we're just going to take it completely off the board. It should be more like here's the choice or don't have the choice. It's just as easy to hit a button and say I don't want to talk to somebody, as it is to just go about your business if people are there talking.
Yeah, I could actually see that. Especially that would be like if two people had it toggled, the option toggled for being able to talk to other people. That would actually be a way interesting way of meeting people, because then you'd all of a sudden hear somebody talking, and then you would know that person was also interested in talking to strangers.
And not only that, but PvP. I mean, communication is key. If you go up against a group of people in party chat, the clan or something like that, and they're all communicating, and you jump in and you're by yourself with nobody talking to each other, I mean, you don't have much of a chance. Like when
Agreed.
it gets onto competitive levels and stuff.
Agreed. Jez, do you have any suggestions that might make this work a little bit better?
Please God, no proximity chat in the tower.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can all agree on that.
It will be trade chat 2.0. To be honest, I'm not sure if I even care for proximity chat, because all it will take is one person to start yelling in my ear that I'll just turn it off for good.
Or playing music? Or playing music over their crap? Oh
or
my
eating chips.
Yeah.
I just want to strangle them.
I don't want to jump into the crucible to hear someone belting out songs, like so many videos that you see online.
Oh, it's the river rage. I just want to... Motherfucker. That's all.
Warlock, you have any ideas for how they could improve their current chat system?
I don't think they will, just because Destiny from the get-go has been grab your fire team and go. It's always, you've got your group of friends, and that's what we're allowing you to chat with. And while you can make friends and add them to your friends list, it just seems like you get that group pre-made and then do it. And everything, since the game seems very end game focused, is all around that teamwork and cooperation.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely about teamwork and cooperation. I am super excited about the end game content. I'm super excited about raids. Real quick, I did want to share with everyone who's suffering from Destiny deprivation how I am dealing with it. And I think that this is something that I can recommend to the community because it could help a decent amount of people. And that is keeping as much in perspective as possible. What I mean by this is that even if Bungie right now, right this very second, said, surprise, Destiny launches tonight, Guardians, I would not be able to go get it because I do not yet have the funds required to make that purchase. And with this piece of knowledge, I'm able to calm my restlessness and almost be happy with the fact that Destiny is not out yet. River, if Destiny dropped right now, would you be excited or would you panic because you don't yet have access to the funds needed to pick it up?
I would go to GameStop and take whatever money I had left, pay that bitch off, and come right back home.
So it would just be that simple right now if it was happening?
Dude, freaking Mary Poppins, snap, and it's done.
Warlock, what about you? Crimson Warlock, are you with us?
All right, well, let's go back to him.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
I was muted. I was muted. I would I got paid today, so I would have the funds. I would go and I would pick it up. And even if I hadn't got paid today, I'd put it on a card and pay that off with my funds and come back and play it.
Go to the couch, freaking get that change out.
Jez, what about you? Would it be panic for you, or would it be no big deal?
It wouldn't be that big of a deal because it's already paid off.
Awesome.
Just 1 second.
Awesome.
It's already paid off on digitally.
Awesome.
Oh.
What about you, Tan? Are you ready for it right this second?
If it came out right now, being one of your best friends ever, and hearing that you don't have the money to pick it up tonight, it would be so awesome for me to send a picture of me with it to you. Oh my god. There might even be a middle finger in that picture and a big old smile. But that's only because of the love I have for you, man. That's
You
the
know
kind
what?
of friend, you know what I mean? I'm here for
I
you.
appreciate that. That is the kind of friend you are, and
That is
I definitely
awesome.
pre-ordered it. Sharks 3D Man. I do have it pre-ordered. I just don't have it paid off. So, it's just not happening right this second. So for me, I didn't help anybody on this panel, but for me, that's what I'm using to keep myself sane. Because even if it was available right now, I wouldn't have it in my hands. And this was actually the downfall of what happened with the alpha, because I had planned on getting my PlayStation 4 on the next Friday. So I missed the alpha by 5 days, and that makes me sad. Because then I had to wait for the beta.
Oh,
Now the
you guys
beta's
have no
gone.
idea. You guys have no idea the text message I was getting from this guy the day that came out. I'm not going to say any of it, but
Right? If tears could be translated into text.
I almost had to drive from San Diego to Seattle to just hug him.
Oh, aren't you
He was
sweet?
going to say slap.
Slap is good. Hey, Remy, freaking Milnor 23 says he would loan you the cash because no one deserves to miss out on Destiny.
And you know what? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that greatly. Hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully it won't come to that. I do plan on playing it off this Friday, though. Or not this Friday, next Friday. So, Bungie, you can let that bad boy go earlier than the 9th, but not any earlier than next week. Please. So yeah. So I hope that this helped somebody out in the community. Man, somebody out there is going to hear this, and they're going to say, oh my God, he's totally right. I can't afford it right now either. And to you, I say, awesome. So let's see. I would like to go over 2 things real quick, updating. Number 1, confirmed, our data does not transfer over. And like I said last week, I was 50-50 on it. I was just as excited about it transferring as I was that it wasn't. And so now we know. Anybody have anything to add to this for the next one? Alrighty then. Okay, so the next update is the passage of time. We've talked about this before, and we were discussing what would be a good passage of time in game, and what would not be a good passage of time in game. So let's start off with River. River, did you feel that the passage of time lived up to what you needed it to be in the game, or is there tweaking that you could definitely see being done? We've lost River. Maybe his mic is muted as well. All right, we will come back to River. Warlock, what about you? Playing in the Destiny beta, and actually Alpha, you got to play in the Alpha as well. Did you feel like time went too fast? Because me, there would be times when I would find something and then I'd jump to the roof of a building to check out what it was, and even just a couple of moments in the inventory screen, I'd come back out and it was all of a sudden like almost nighttime, and so I feel like it still moved too fast. What about you?
Honestly, I am so goal-oriented as a person. I get tunnel vision so bad. I don't even notice day-night cycles in games. I don't even notice. I'm it'll be one of those where I'll stop and look up the skybox. I'm like, oh, it's nighttime now. And then like I could play for 3 more hours and be like, it's still nighttime because I missed like the 2 days in between that.
I like it. I like it. Jez, you had some pretty deep interest in the day-night cycle. Did you feel that it was still too fast?
Yeah, in a way, it's still too fast, but you don't want it to be too slow either, because then you won't see the epic sunrises and sunsets.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can't be sitting around waiting for that forever. It's interesting, Warlock, that you mentioned that you have this tunnel vision, because I didn't think that I was going to notice it, and I actually noticed it more often than not. Like I would seriously be discombobulated with what time it was in game, because I had just taken these Fallen out. I was just checking on an armband. So it actually stuck out to me. Tanner, what about you? Are you in tune with the day-night cycles that go on? And was it too fast, too slow in your opinion?
I don't know. I'm more with Warlock. You were asking this, and I'm like, down. You know what you're talking about? Like they went from day to night. Like I mean, I'll look around here and there, but I didn't really notice as far as the fast or slow. I didn't really have too much of a opinion on that.
So the funny thing for me was the one time when I did notice the day-night cycle, the worst was I found a visual bug and I was trying to get a good video of it, and it was nighttime and I needed the sun to shine onto the ground so I could get a good picture of it, and I was waiting for the sun to rise. I'm like, this is the slowest thing in the world.
All right. Same to you, River. What does the day-night cycle look like for you? Were you excited that it was on time? Was it too fast, too slow?
Let's see. I'm kind of with the other guys as well, but I think it's only situational. Whenever you're playing like the competitive multiplayer thing, everything's going way too fast for me to even think about what the day-night cycle is like. However, whenever you're going to, your explorer mode or anything like that in the story, it's a little more noticeable then. And I thought it was all right. I didn't think it needed to be tweaked in any way. I think it's fine.
So,
from what I could tell, the competitive multiplayer was it gave you a random time of day and was just fixed.
Right. It's like, oh, hey, we're about to start this. Do the freaking random numbers, and yep, it's evening time. This is where the sun is.
Interesting. Whoa. I think someone's breaking into your house, Tanner.
Yeah, you better go check that.
That's interesting. I wasn't checking the day-night cycle in the Crucible. So it would just give you a random one. You would think that it would almost be in some kind of sync with the rest of the world.
I didn't notice it.
Shark 3D man says what sucked about the day-night cycle was that all you had to do was go back to orbit, and it totally changed going from area to area. Did anyone else notice that? Like, it's not, because I was under the impression that when they said that they were making the same game for everyone, that if you and I jumped in randomly at the same time to a place, it would be the same. It would be the same time. Or maybe that's just from going to orbit. I don't even know. I guess.
Maybe they were just trying stuff out for the beta, and we'll see a more robust cycle whenever the actual game launches. Because in my mind, what we were seeing during the beta is not like a cycle; it's randomly generated.
The the Legend Blue says my girlfriend's birthday is on Destiny launch day, which sucks. Such hard decisions. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Sorry, buddy.
I got
You gotta make it.
I got my girlfriend Halo 4 because it launched on her birthday.
She still play it?
She wasn't really happy with that decision.
That's because you pushed her out of the way so you could play it.
Right? I think it had split screen, right?
I think so.
Let's see. Where did it go? I think it was Echo Doctrine says, what time do you all think Destiny will go live on September 9th? And I am willing to bet that it will be, according to Bungie time, it will be midnight Pacific time for everybody. But I can't, I don't know, I almost feel like there's going to be a lot of people pissed off about that. Because, say you're in a different time zone, like it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning before people on the East Coast get a chance to play it. So if you go to that midnight launch, you don't get to come right home and play it. I wonder if they'll let you load it to your console. What do you think, River? Is it going to be 9, or is it going to be midnight PST?
I'm kind of with you as far as the midnight PST. If you buy the physical version, you'll be able to install it to your console, whether it's PS4 or Xbox One. And as soon as the servers go live, everyone's going to jump in all at one time and hopefully not break the servers.
Right. Hopefully not break the servers. Warlock, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with it's going to be midnight PST. And for me, if that is the case, then I will go grab it midnight my time, pop it in my PlayStation 4, let it install, and then go to sleep, and come back 5 hours later when I normally wake up because I have to go to work that day. So I'll just play Destiny when I normally play games before I go to work.
Gotcha. Yeah, K-Dub says in the chat that this has been confirmed, and I thought that I had read that as well, but I've seen a lot of it going around on Twitter and on the forums. Jez, do you know where this confirmation is? Can you find us the link?
People were saying it was on the PSN digital.
I haven't seen it myself.
What's that, Jez?
Yeah, the only time that we don't we've never said anything about physical copies. The only time that we know of is the pre-order for PSN says that it will unlock at 12 Pacific.
Interesting. Luckily, Tan, that doesn't affect us because we are in PST.
Oh,
very nice.
Look at you.
Nice.
Jeez.
Awesome. So there is that. Sad to be the world, but after that first 24 hours, I think that it'll be the same thing when the beta dropped. Like the amount of complaining and booing and hissing dropped to basically zero once everybody was allowed into the game. So.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we are thinking. I don't know how they're going to do it for, the Xbox 360 because I think the beta was 10 gigabytes, and that's already more than can be held on a game disc. Are they not even going to bother with any kind of content on the disc? Is it just going to be a key?
Nah, I mean, I think even Halo 4 had 2 discs that you had to install on the console.
That's true.
So, if anything, it'll probably be something like that, and maybe even something to unlock once midnight hits or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Well, Blu-rays can hold 50 gigabytes and up.
Totally.
There's up to 128 gigabyte Blu-rays.
Awesome.
I'm glad my 360 can play those.
Yeah, those one. We've seen the difference in the beta size between the two. It's probably going to be comparable.
Mm-hmm.
They won't need to put high-end resolutions if it's not going to be in that resolution anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So we knew about control. We knew about control. 6 on 6, kind of a king of the hill almost style game. But then they unleashed these other 5 modes: Clash, which is 6 versus 6 team deathmatch. Did anyone find? Is that not? That's not one of the ones where you resurrect people, right? That's just a straight up team deathmatch. So it's like control, except for you're not trying to control any points, right? Anyone?
Anybody, nobody? Because I honestly don't remember if that had resurrection or not. I want to say yes, it did. That's what I want to say, but don't freaking quote me on that because I'm really just talking out my rear right now.
Then we had Rumble mode, which is a free-for-all 6-player. Skirmish, which it says resembles control, but with revives turned on. And this is a 3-on-3 mode, which I think will be really interesting. I am sad that there's not more of a big team battle feel to these. Like that was my favorite. That was my favorite. Besides Rocket Race, Rocket Race was my jam. I loved Rocket Race. But besides that, big team battle was always the hopper that I would go into because I just really enjoyed being part of a large scale deal. Like I didn't want everything sitting on whether or not I could shoot somebody else. I wanted it to be more of a team deal. Like I wanted to be maybe what swayed a certain battle. But it seems like Destiny is really focusing on these smaller combat. With that, and also Salvage, a 3-member 3 versus 3 recovering relics scattered around the map. Are any of you more interested in one of these modes than the other? River, what do you got on this?
Bring on the Iron Banner. That's all I got.
Really? So you're just big on the Iron Banner?
Oh man, I want to find all the great loot and then pit myself against other people who find great loot too, and see who's the baddest guardian in the tower.
See, I'm almost afraid of the Iron Banner in that, in the beta, what we saw was everybody rushed to get to where the cap was. Like I saw basically all the same Titans running around, all the same Warlocks, all the same Hunters running around with all the same equipment because that was as high as you could get. Like you could only get to a certain level. And so I felt comfortable going in there because even if they had a better weapon, it wasn't going to be so overwhelming. So I'm looking forward to the Iron Banner. Like I will play the Iron Banner in the very beginning because I think it's going to be exponential. Like the first month out, a lot of people are going to be playing a lot, but you get 6 months out and some people are going to have insanely more powerful stuff. They're going to be way crazy. What do you think, Warlock? Are you interested in any one of these game types more than the other?
I am honestly not a big PvP person. So if I decide to PvP, I'll just do whatever someone else wants to do, probably. But I'm interested to see what different vehicles there will be, and I don't think we've seen them all even in the trailer. So that'll be interesting, I think. But I do have to say, until I hit that max level, I won't be comfortable with Iron Banner, but I felt like the beta actually made me feel like I could compete in PvP, which was a good thing for me. So.
Yeah. Jez, you're not a big PvPer, but do any of these pique your interest?
For the most part, yeah, the 3v3 ones are more interesting to me because it's just a smaller map. Like, there's less going on for you to have to worry about. Like, if you kill one person, there goes 1/3 of the team.
Yeah, you're right. You were discussing that there was too many variables involved in some of these bigger ones, and I totally agree that there is a lot of variables going on there.
Mind you, though, as someone that's rushing to go for high-end gear, the Iron Banner will be slightly interesting.
Agreed. Tanner, what about you? Do any of these pique your interest, or are you just interested in all of it?
Yeah, I'm kind of into all of it. I mean, obviously, Iron Banner seems like it's going to be interesting. I'll probably jump in there way before I should. And Probably not be all maxed out and just get slaughtered, but it'll be fun to see what I can do, But I'm with you also with like the big team battles and stuff like that. But hopefully with the game, they plan on being around for a long time, maybe over expansions, and we start off small and end up in some bigger things to come.
Right. I think
That's
that something that we're not taking into account here is that, like, I don't think that they've shown anywhere near their whole hand. Like, we've only seen 2 vehicles. We've seen that Interceptor and the Pike, and I think that there's going to be many more vehicles, at least twice as many. There's going to be at least 4 different kinds of vehicles in Destiny. Like, I can't imagine that they just settled on, well, here's a rocket launcher on wheels, and here's a sparrow with a gun. Like, I think that we haven't seen the beginning of it. We haven't seen the end of it. I think that what they're doing is they're acclimating us to what's happening. And along that same line, does anybody here think that we are not going to see a theater mode? Because one of the things that I'm seeing most often online in chats is people talking about if they were going to have a theater mode, they would have already announced it, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, I don't think that they've given us anything. I don't think they've given us anything. I think they're going to hold this as close to their chest as possible, and when it comes out, we're going to all be floored. So River, you think that there will be a theater mode?
I'm certainly hoping for it, because that's really going to affect a lot of the content that I really want to put out. I mean, theater mode, I think I've said this before, theater mode was a really big staple of Halo once they first introduced it. I mean, it was used for all kinds of stuff, even for like machinima. It really helped out in that aspect. And they love machinima. So I'm really just crossing my fingers, hoping that they're just holding it close to the chest, and we'll just see it once it comes out.
Right? Like, if you could see an hour breakdown, like if you could see how many hours I've spent in what mode, theater mode was absolutely one of my favorite things to do, like going through and taking screenshots. Like, I loved to be, they had a whole thing about, war photojournalist or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed going through and watching these battles unfold from different angles. There was a ton of strategy that could be gleaned from it. And one of the things that I keep seeing people say is, oh, it's an MMO, or it's online only, you can't have a theater mode. And I think to myself, this doesn't make any sense, because almost all of these modes, no, I think all of these modes could be multiplayer. Like, you could play campaign with people online, and then go back and view that footage. All of the multiplayer, you could just go back and save that. What do you think, Warlock? Do you think that there's going to be a theater mode?
I think if there's going to be one, we're not going to see it until late in the first game, or probably not till the second game. And my reason behind that is this is a brand new IP, and they need to get players comfortable with it. They've got to get players to get into the game, get into the lore, and then they'll let the community kind of have their way, I think, in the second game, because then it'll really show those people that are super interested. I think if they released a theater mode with the game launching, it would almost be too much for those new people.
So would you say it would be too soon if it came out in one of the DLC packs that's coming up?
I don't think it would come out until the second one. Again,
Okay.
I think they want to give people time to just get into the game, get into the story, and then really let their wheels fly with what Bungie has presented in the story.
All right.
BMIC, what theater mode was, is it took a previously saved game, like you could play a multiplayer game or you could play campaign, and what theater mode would do is it basically you created a recording of the specific points where your character was, what your character was doing, and what the rest of these people were doing, and the engine replays this, so the files would be super small, sometimes in just kilobytes, and you could go through it and rewatch what happened as if it was happening right now. You could pause it. You could fly into the air. Like I mean, and this actually goes back to the Monitor, going along with the ghost. Like I think that's how you would interact with it. It makes a lot of sense. Jez, you and I had I came to you as soon as I started seeing these things pop up. I go to Jez for fact finding, and you agreed with me that it was something that could happen. But what was it that you said exactly? Do you remember?
Not exactly. I just know what I know now, or what I
Which
think
is
now.
what is
Uh,
that?
They're probably not going to have it at launch, just because they're trying to probably launch it safe, like as streamlined as it can be, just so that it's easy and makes money, because it's quite a huge investment, and they'll probably work on it in between the expansions,
I agree
or
with that.
in
I agree
between the
with that.
games themselves.
I could even see them waiting, a couple of months for the Forge mode as well, which I also desperately, desperately need and want in my life. Tanner, was theater mode important to you at all?
No.
Thanks for
I do
being
agree. I
honest.
mean, I think, yeah, like to put it out so early on, I think would almost be a distraction to a certain degree. I mean, yeah, I could get some funny stuff going on and people, whatever, but like you guys said, the idea is to get everyone into this and focused on it. I think that's all good points.
Right on. Well, that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. We broadcast every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Yeah, ish. To 8:30 p.m. ish.
Ish.
Technical difficulties, things of this nature, oftentimes cause us to be late. But we are here, and at least until Destiny comes out. I might just have to cancel this show, because it could just be me chit
No,
chatting,
it's not gonna be you, man.
chit
Let's keep it
chatting
going.
to everybody, to no one. It'll be me chit chatting to no one. Tanner, we do a shout out at the end of the show. You've been listening. Who do you got, Tanner? Who is your shout out?
You guys, my girlfriend, who's waiting for me to go to her house right now because I'm supposed to bring food. So thanks for not calling me the whole time I'm talking to you guys.
Good job.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me hang out with you guys. This has been great.
Jez, what do you got?
Tonight I got a shout out to little known Destiny community member Datto for
Oh.
retweeting me, and
Who's
also, yeah, no one knows who he is,
No one knows who Dado is.
but yeah, he
Dalton.
bouncing ideas back and forth is quite awesome when you have someone like Datto as your backboard,
Right.
or more
Legend,
likely
man.
his backboard.
I can't imagine what it is for both of you, really, because you are insane on details, and so yeah, I can imagine that's only a match made in heaven. So yeah, good shout out, definitely. Warlock, what you got?
I'm gonna shout out to K-Dub tonight, Destiny K-Dub, because he's a pretty cool guy. I got to play with him with the beta, and I can't wait to play with him in the actual game. But the rest would just be a shout out to our great community. I love being a part of the Twitter scene and seeing all the stuff that comes up on Twitter and stuff. So thanks for being awesome, guys.
Awesome, great. River.
Jeez, I don't know. I do want to bring up some attention to all those folks who are sticking with last gen consoles. All you Guardians out there are other people. Don't give up on trying to search for folks, because there's some folks out there who have not made the jump yet. There are people that you can join up and have a fire team. So keep on searching. If you need somebody to help you search for some, I know some folks. So hit me up.
Awesome. Great shout out. And I will actually be one of those people as well. I haven't yet got an Xbox One, and don't really have any plans on it in the near future. I just bought this PlayStation 4. And so I will be playing on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360. But we have some really great people in Guardian 1 who will be playing on the PlayStation 3. And so yeah, that's a great shout out. I'd like to say the same thing. In addition, I would also like to thank K-Dub. I've been in some email talks with him recently, and he's interested in doing some really great stuff. And I would also like to thank everybody in the Twitch chat, and additionally Tanner's girlfriend for letting him come out and hang out with us.
Thank you, Tanner's girlfriend.
Thank you, Tanner's girlfriend.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
with that, I will see you guys later. Bye now.
Twitter at G1net.
Twitter at G1net. Correct. I should probably get on a better outro for this.
And listen
Maybe
to
next.
Guardian Radio too. Listen to Guardian
Oh.
Radio because they're our boys.
That's right. Guardian Radio is our boys, and those guys over at Warlock School. And I'm super excited about what Hardgrove comes up with. His show is going to be amazing.
With Hardgrove.
Hard Rocks with Hardgrove, all part of the Guardian Radio network, and it's awesome, awesome and great to be here. Thanks to everyone who showed up, and we'll see you later.
Man, I want Destiny.